Guys, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, the dump, the DXY, the stock market. Is the trend, have the trend changed towards the downside? And I think it is very close to change. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna, do the trick to change the trend. I see somebody in chat is looking at RSI divergence, bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence towards the upside. And I'm here to tell you, no. Not just yet. The divergences are a hopium, stuff. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that as well. How's everybody doing? As you see right now, we do have a face cam again. My beautiful face is back on the cam, on the stream live, so we can attract those numbers, those subs, those likes, So smash the like button if you like the, face cam back again. As you recently, seen, we don't use face cam on. Webcam on our trading streams because these kind of streams go for a long time, and it's a lot more relaxing just sitting behind the camera, chilling in the dark room in my despair, and try to find some kind of entries, right? It's a lot more chill for me. So we're gonna continue trading streams without cam, but when we're doing Bitcoin Daily and some kind of other video stuff like that, we're gonna have the cam on. Guys, how you doing in the chat? I hope you're not, panicking just yet. The panic will come, of course, eventually. There is no panic, and everybody's still too much hopeful. So I still don't think there is, much upside left to go. But I do think that there is a bounce coming. So we're gonna talk about that. Roshten, let's go. 25 CD long, bro. S, good morning. How you doing? Mladen Petrov, the mastermind of the channels. How you doing, man? Christo, morning all. I'm a little buying as we dump. Dollar cost average. Guys, I did not propose, I never said like up here that dollar cost average is a way to go. I did say like, you can do that, you could dollar cost average towards downside, but you will get some kind of mid entry up here. But in any kind of bearish trend, it's never a good idea to dollar cost average, guys. When stuff is going down, it's never a good idea to dollar cost average. It's only when we came down here that I said, right now, that's because we all, we are assuming this is the bottom. And technically over here, it's not actually, over here when you get some kind of bottom, I mean, technically, down here, it's down here you try to, dollar cost average because you don't know where the bottom is. But you're not dollar cost averaging from the top, right? You're not dollar cost averaging from the top. So over here on the downside, we don't actually know, where the bottom is gonna be. Like, I mean, we already hit the bottom at, 22.11. It can go below that, but the numbers, speak for themselves. And dollar cost averaging down here is, perfectly fine, because we don't know actually where the bottom is. So I think dollar cost averaging strategy right now at some kind of bottoms, it's very valid. It's very, very, very valid. RSI so low, it's where it was when Bitcoin was at 16.5k. You're looking probably at some kind of small time frames, because at 16.5k down here we were, RSI down here was something like 26 down here, and over here it was at 40. So right now it's at 61. So you're probably looking at some kind of 4-hourly time frame or something like that. And of course, small time frames always do hit these low levels. So these, you gotta go up to time frame. You gotta even go up to the weekly time frame. You'll see that RSI up here right now it's at 56 level, while down here at 16k we were at 31, and down here in July low we are all the way down at 26. So you're definitely 100% looking at very small time frames, and that doesn't matter especially when you're looking at this these very, very big big distances from the point to the point. You cannot compare this one to this one over here, right? It just doesn't work that way. What you have to compare is something like over here, this one to this one over here, this part over here. You cannot go way back in time. You cannot go way back in time. It's not how it works. My last target is 22.2. Please, no more dump after that. We're gonna try. XRP Legend, good morning. What's up? Into the Cosmos, long adopter. Good morning, Dutch Ring Racing. How you doing, man? I'm Stone about the CM gap at night. We do not talk about CM gaps. I'm triple down my longs here. There is all hidden bullish divergence on daily. Yeah, the hidden bullish divergence on the daily is kind of sketchy, because hidden bullish divergence is a lagging indicator. And although you have a huge hidden bullish divergence over here, technically huge hidden bullish divergence, the price needs to only fall down just a little bit. It needs to close just below the 20 moving average over here, just slightly below 20 moving average, and there will be no more bullish divergence. The price will have no divergence at all whatsoever on the daily time frame. So if we today close this candle down here below the below this low over here, there is no divergence, guys. There is zero divergence. But I'm seeing that people are having, you know, some kind of, you know, hopium when it comes to these divergences. And I was also looking at this divergence, and I was thinking that this might, you know, play out in a, you know, in favor of the divergence, and it still might do that, because if you get some kind of big red green candle over here, there might be, you know, this bullish divergence up here that actually might propel us towards upside. So I'm not saying this cannot go towards upside, but right now, you know, it needs to break certain trend over here. There is the trend line over here. It needs to break this trend up here. You can see it needs to get back above the 10 moving average up here. It needs to get above this trend, and it eventually needs to get above, you know, 23.8 or something like that to become super bullish, or something like that. But, you know, we are not there just yet. We are just not there yet. From now, TLI is known as the long adopter. I don't know about that. Let's draw some lines. Yeah, we'll draw some lines. Deploy the war chest adopter. Long time. Mek Stiakovsky. Good morning, all. Good morning. You don't need to entertain us with the camera. Nah, it's for the new people, you know. New people get, you know, when they see the face, they can relate. You know, if they don't see the face, they cannot relate. So it might be a little bit about that. Everyone bullish, bearish. What do you mean? Yeah, we bearish. So much people are bearish. We gotta know. Yeah. So yesterday also we posted a couple of tweets. You know, we posted a couple of. Let me just, you know, remove a bunch of these over here. I don't know even what these are. I remember. Yeah. Oh, this is nice. We gotta keep this one. This is Superman. Let me just see up here how far this goes. See the plot below the following table where Super in the 7th year interval between 99 and 2060. Okay, so let's see up here. Why are dates not organized? Pedigree, distance. (2025) mini moons, super moons. 2025 are mini moons. That cannot be. There's something wrong with this chart. Doesn't matter. I'll check it out later. I did on Twitter. If you go to Twitter, to my Twitter, what is over here, TLI Crypto, you'll see that there is a poll on Twitter over here, and it says something. You know, is there more pain for crypto to come? I'll just say some downside maybe. I cannot even, oh my god, I cannot even open this. Let me see it up here, Twitter. There you go, we'll do this over here. And go up there, and there you go. Is there more pain for crypto markets 2023? 55.8% yes. Only 23% are, you know, strongly bullish. Most are people bearish. And some downside, you know, yeah, we're gonna have a dip. You know, people who believe in dip 20% up here. So, you know, people are more bearish than bullish. People are more bearish than bullish. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there was also a poll on the YouTube channel as well. Is there more crypto pain for crypto markets? Most pain is over some downside. I gotta log in on this one as well. Just a second up here. Let's go to my channel over here and go to the telescope. Here we go. You can see up here there is 353 votes. 58% says yes, 16% says no, so only 16% is bullish, and 26% believe in dip. So these guys down here believe in the dip. These guys down here, up here, you know, I'm a little unsure how much, you know, they believe in the dip, but, you know, these guys are, you know, strongly bullish. So there, you know, the majority is still a lot, you know, bearish, and I think, you know, people became, you know, super bullish up here. Unfortunately, it didn't go up, so people are still believing in this move towards the downside. And the big question now is, of course, you know, is this going to continue towards the downside? Let me just go through the rest of the chat. Are you moonalizing? I'm in at 16%. There is no new people here after we dumped. Well, they came all back when we pumped again. Yeah, it might be that. It might be that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about charts, guys. And you know, this top up here, you know, we didn't call it, you know, exactly on the top, but you know, at least if you consider my, you know, sell signal, whatever, right? Some kind of top talk. up here, you know, it was pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Now we are below 10 moving average, and this was one of the, you know, signals that I would you know, look for when we go towards downside. The other signal is up here, you know, creating lower low down here below the 20 moving average, and I think that might happen. Still haven't happened, so you know, there is definitely a chance to bounce off of here, and I think there is also strong chance to bounce off here. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, but you can see here we have no lower low up here on the chart. Now, as somebody mentioned in the chat, there is RSI divergence up here, and I just like I just said up here, this divergence up here might play out if this candle up here becomes green and then, you know, continues towards upside. But this is a lag indicator. There is no you know, hidden bearish divergence just yet. The hidden bearish divergence are you know, some assumptions that we hope it's gonna play out. It does not have to play out, because if this next red candle, it just goes a little bit below down here, below this level up here, there is no divergence whatsoever, right? There is zero divergence, and that would be a very, very bad signal. That would mean the trend change. So you can see up here at the top, you can see up here at the top, if you zoom very nicely in, up here we got some kind of high and some kind of lower low. So we already, you know, did not push it, you know, we had some kind of higher highs all the way through, and right now we are getting lower highs. So we are technically, you know, top is going towards downside. Now the bottom up here is still going towards upside, but if you do close below this level over here, we'll have a low over here, and then we have a lower low over here, and then technically you have a downtrend. So you have technically changed the trend right over here, right, if you go below the 20 moving average. Right now, technically, the trend is not changed just yet, but once you are below 20 moving average and below this low over here, it's pretty much game over. I wouldn't say, you know, it's not game over for anything, but you know, the trend has actually changed. The trend has changed, and you know, to get back above that, there is some kind of trend line over here that we need to get back above. This trend line right now is at this 10 moving average. Will we retest that and, you know, bounce up here towards upside, towards these highs up here again, and then maybe even break those towards the upside, and without any kind of, you know, divergence up here, and then continue towards upside? That depends to be seen. We are low, and after right now that we, you know, did some kind of, okay, this is top, this is gonna go down. Right now that this is going down, guys, we are no longer looking for, you know, where the top is. What we are looking for right now is where the bottom is, right? We are trying to find the bottom. We're trying to find the move towards downside that's gonna end this all. We're trying to find when this, if this dip up here is gonna stop up here, break the trend and continue towards upside. We are trying to find where the bottom is, guys. So right now we are again looking for bottom. In this move towards upside, once you start going towards upside up here, we have been looking for where the top is, guys. Where the top is, when is the price losing the, you know, momentum and stuff like that. And you can see up here, right now it's already, you know, losing momentum, is going towards downside. So what we are looking for right now is some kind of move towards downside. And we are looking right now for where the bottom is, so we can go up again, so we can buy the dip, and hopefully we find where the dip, you know, where the bottom is, and hopefully find, you know, buy the dip eventually. But we are not quite there yet. If you see here on the 4-hourly time frame up here, it might be this line up here, but I'm pretty sure it might, you know, this is, you know, very legit line. So I'm a little bit unsure whether we should use these stops up here. These stops go something like this up here, and we are getting some kind of retest up here. There might be some kind of expanding wedge over here, so you know, we are hitting that, you know, these bottoms down here. That said, look here, guys, look this last week on the downside, there are two major support lines up here beside the moving average and stuff like that on this daily chart. This is the one that's at 22,827. This is the first major support line. You can see up here that we are still trying to hold it. It's just about, you know, where the 20 moving average is. The second one is down here at 22,632. Also major support line, and you can see that we hit that on the dollar. Very, very nice. So these levels are actually playing out, and they are confirming these very important support and resistance lines, which is very, very nice. So over here you can see also on the 4-hourly time frame that, you know, we did weak all the way down to the level, and then bounced up here. But this is still curving towards downside over here a little bit right now. And if you look at some indicators, there are definitely good indications that we might actually, you know, pop towards upside up here. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame up here. 4-hourly time frame is not. 1-hourly time frame looks like this is going towards upside. Momentum going towards upside. My indicator going towards the upside, and the volume is kind of going towards downside over here. So this, you know, on small time frames looks like it might actually bounce towards upside. Unfortunately, on the 4-hourly time frame up here, we still have no divergence on the RSI up here, and the momentum is actually increasing. momentum is actually increasing up here towards the upside. So let's see volume up here, and volume is still decreasing over here, even in this part over here. So, you know, I'm a little bit, you know, 50-50 on what's gonna happen, but I would assume that it needs to, you know, go a little bit towards the upside. So why do I think that it needs to go a little bit towards the upside over here? Well, you know, the trend is your friend until the trend ends and all that kind of shebang. We might, you know, it might be this line over here, it might be on the 4 line. There are a lot of lines up here on the upside that might be, but you know, you should always try to find the line that corresponds with this big drop, this first big drop, because there was some kind of, you know, significant line over here that we actually lost, and we actually lost the trend. So I think the line goes something like this up here, give or take. Maybe even something up here towards the upside up here. Nah, it's probably this, you know, some kind of, you know, downtrend line. Maybe something like this over here, give or take. Yeah, maybe something like this. Let's say it's one of these lines, right? So you can see right now that, you know, because this drop is very, very important. So when you're trying to find which line is the right line, and you know, which line is significant, you always want to see these big drops, because these big drops do tend to indicate that, you know, there was some kind of support up here, there was some kind of, you know, important trend line over here, there was some kind of confluence that we actually lost and dropped down big time. So I think there is some kind of line up here. It really doesn't matter. It goes either here or it goes something like this over here. You know, give or take, it's you know, it's in this ballpark area over here. So right now, if you see up here, we are going still towards downside, but I still believe that, you know, there could come a bounce up here towards certain moving averages up here, maybe even all the way up here towards the upside. I'm going to show you the levels, but some kind of, you know, move up here towards the upside before we go towards the downside, because right now people are shorting too much, and you know, it might, you know, want to pick up a little bit before it goes back down again. So where are these important levels of support? If you go to the daily time frame, we actually don't have a lot of sorry, not levels of support, but resistance. We got a 20 moving average up here at 22.3, which is a very important level. We got this level up here at 23.74, and beside those levels, we don't have actually any more resistance on upside before we actually get to 23.8, and everything below down here, you know, doesn't matter, because we are, you know, we are above it. So we are looking where are these resistance line that can, you know, that we can actually, you know, bounce up to. So let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. You'll see also that, you know, the 20 moving average down here, that sorry, the 10 moving average, the 20 moving, and the 50 moving average up here, also very important levels. And this upper level also corresponds nicely with the bottoms down here, and we also have this level down here, because it's important pullback down here at 22.3 or something like that. And if you look at this part of the chart, there is a range up here between these tops and bottoms up here. So this is some kind of top up here, and there goes some kind of bottoms over here, give or take. So the range goes something like this over here. I would say a little bit more down towards downside over here. This is some kind of range over here, because there is a lot of these, you know, these tops up here. These stops up here, right, and these stops over here, and this stop up here, and then, you know, these bottoms over here, and then there's some action over here going on, right? So you can see right now that this range up here, I would say this range is a little bit on the lower side down here, maybe something like this up here, down here. Something like this, I would say. You know, these are important, because this one up here corresponds nicely with these levels up here. But I would say, you know, up here, something like that. You know, there are definitely important, you know, resistance levels that needs to be broken up here towards the upside. This is a very important range to get above and stuff like that. So I think we might get into this range. I don't know how far in we're gonna get into the range. You know, where we're gonna get rejected and what kind of move we're gonna do. There is also the trend line over here. Of course, we gotta remember the trend line. Never forget the trend line, guys. Never forget the trend line. Up here, give or take. Up here, this is some kind of trend line. So, you know, once we start going towards the upside up here, you know, how much can we come up here? Can we get above, you know, entire yellow circle up here? Sorry, entire, you know, red area up here towards the upside? Are we just gonna bounce off these, you know, these moving, this trend line and these moving averages on the downside? It's a little bit hard to say. It's a little bit hard to say, but I definitely see some more maybe upside up here. If it wants to bounce, up here. And for the bounce to happen, it needs to break certain levels, right? So it needs to break up here above 22.9, give or take. I would say it needs to get above 22.9 or something like that, to actually, let's move everything so you can see this nicer, maybe on the 4-hour time frame. Now you can see it. So yeah, let's go 30 minutes time frame up here. Yeah, so I would say it needs to break above, right now, above something like you know, 22.9, give or take. It needs to go up above there, maybe even the 50 moving average. This 30 minutes time frame, 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it needs to get above these levels, 20 moving average up here. It needs to go up here if we want to see a little bit bigger bounce than that, right? So right now we are definitely in some kind of downtrend over here, and the downtrend is not done just yet. And we are doing this, you know, weeks up here. We're trying to hold the levels. We are getting divergence. We are very low on certain indicators as well. If you look at a 4-hour indicator up here, we're coming down to, you know, some kind of 35 levels up here. We can definitely go down even more below 30 levels, because, you know, 30 levels below that, you know, it's kind of some kind of standard of these very, very, you know, big lows on the downside. It can of course go even longer below that, but you know, we are not quite there yet. Bearish cross up here on the daily time frame, 2-day time frame, getting bearish cross maybe soon. Weekly time frame, getting rejected by this zero line up here that we said it is very important. We are not yet above the zero line, so there is that. This RSI is hitting 60 levels, so it's not overbought or oversold, anything like that, but it's getting a pullback up here a little bit. And the most bullish part up here on the chart, if you look at the weekly chart right now, we have this weekly close up here right below 250 moving average. 250 moving average, very important levels to break above. That's at around, you know, 25k level, exactly almost at you know, 25k level right now. Very, very important level to break. Can we go all the way up here and then get rejected big time towards the downside? Definitely. So I'm still looking that there is a probability to bounce up here, because this weekly candle up here was not, it wasn't a bearish engulfing candle. Now look what happened up here. When it came down to the bottom and started going towards the upside up here, we had a bearish engulfing candle up here after this candle close, which is actually a bear candle. Then we went down and then a little bit up again. Then we had again a bearish engulfing candle towards the downside. So we are already been getting indications that we are bearish. So we started going up here, and at the first, you know, sign of rejection, a big dump towards the downside, right? But right now we are no longer getting these, you know, bearish engulfing candles at the top, which is very, very good. So I think that also shows that, you know, change in the sentiments have changed a little bit, and that we are not as bearish. We are not as bearish as we used to be, right? So, you know, it is different kind of bearishness, but we are in a downtrend, at least the short-term downtrend over here, for as long as it lasts. We are still in a short-term downtrend over here, at least right now. So this is some kind of, you know, 2-day, this is some kind of daily downtrend over here. Is it a channel up here? It could be a channel. Maybe some clarity up here. Let's see up here. Nah, I would love this to actually work out, but it's not working out. Still holding some lows down there. Why? Could this be like this? And then like this? And no. It seems to be more like it is some kind of downtrend channel. You do not want to break this channel towards the downside, because then you're gonna have a big dump, right? So you want to either channel up here and break towards the upside, or you want to just channel like this forever, because as soon as you break the channel towards the downside, there is going to be a big dump. So remember that, guys. So we are definitely looking at this channel over here, but the trend is towards the downside. The daily time frame right now telling us that you know, we got a high and lower high over here, and right now we get a high and a higher low over here. So it's some kind of triangle up here, but if this does pull down a little bit more, we got technically a downtrend over here on our hands on the daily time frame, which is, you know, huge, which is huge. The SP looks like it's about to hard drop down. Yeah, so we can right now go over and talk about the DXY and stuff like that. As you can see over here, DXY on the weekly time frame is hitting some kind of highs up here. You know, there is the 50 moving average, sorry, 10 moving average that we are hitting right now up here at the top. This on the weekly time frame. We are coming to this one of the first you know, major resistance level at 103. If you look at a 2-day time frame up here, hitting this 20 moving average, daily time frame up here, we are going towards the, you know, 50 moving average and these highs up here. So I think there is more room towards upside up here, at least, you know, for right now. Let's go to 4-hourly time frame. There is a big trend up here, and it's a very, very slow trend. So you can see when the price started going towards the upside and, you know, broke the trend over here, whatever the trend is, right? Broke the trend over here towards the upside. It created this pivot point on the downside. Now we can use this pivot point to figure out where the trend goes. Something like that, right? So even if it drops down over here, it can still continue going towards the upside. This is the one of the major trend lines right now, and this is how we are right now, you know, rolling with the, you know, with the trend up here. So as long as it keeps the trend line, it can definitely continue towards the upside. Everything else is just a dip until it breaks the trend, right? Once it breaks the trend, it's kind of game over, and it's gonna dip a lot more than that. But right now it is in some kind of uptrend over here, because this downtrend over here at least, you know, broke, and there might be, you know, bigger downtrends over here that I haven't seen. Let me just go up here a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking stuff right now, so maybe this one up here, you know, is gonna stop it or something like that, you know. Kind of depends. Maybe something like this, right? You can see this line, it hits very nice, you know, this week up here, and then there is a week over here that very nice hits, and it corresponds very nice with the 50 moving average. So if it managed to break up here above 30, you know, 103.878 or something like that, I mean, then it already looks, you know, strongly bullish. It needs to get rejected middle towards downside, but as long as it follows this trend over here, you know, as long as it follows this trend over here, it can just continue pumping. So I wouldn't say it looks weak. It's coming to some kind of resistance area. It's not quite there yet. I think it has more room towards the upside. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. On the other hand, the SP 500 is back in the wedge. I don't know if you remember, there was, you know, rising wedge up here. Right now it came back in the wedge, which quite a bad indication for the price. It's still above the bigger. It's still above the bigger trend line over here. I can draw the trend line up here. Not this one. I can draw the trend line. It's still above this bigger trend line, and you know the trend line looks like it's broken, right? But it's broken, but it's not pumping that much. So if it, yeah, and there is also the triangle up here. So the rising wedge failed towards the upside. It came back into rising wedge. If it falls a little bit more down, it will be inside the triangle over here. And if it falls even more down, it's back below the trend, which is actually a terrible, you know, it's, what are you gonna say? It's a terrible thing to do. Once you break the trend and go back inside that trend again, that's actually very bad news, right? So we're gonna see how this plays out. The Dow Jones is still inside this triangle, not doing anything special. And the Nasdaq up here, it's pulling a little bit back inside. There is a slight channel up here, it's pulling back inside the channel. So, you know, that's also a little bit bad news. But it might be just a, you know, temporary pullback. So a little bit unsure what that means, but it's not a good thing that it's pulling back. But Bitcoin is pulling back, S&P, Nasdaq is pulling back, Dow Jones is not. The DXY has a little bit more room towards upside. So are we assuming that, you know, there will be more dumpage to come? I'm remaining a little bit bearish, you know, short term over here to see whether we can find some kind of bottom, whether we can find some kind of hope. And I'm gonna remain, you know, short term bearish until we change get out of the channel, either towards downside or upside, right? So this channel up here, once we get, you know, if we increase the speed towards the downside over here, I'm gonna become more bearish. On the other side, if we go towards upside, I'm gonna be hopeful bullish. So we're gonna see where we end. Great brutal analysis. Big up the TI Fans Club, the central plant. My man, been here for a long time. Your 100x at 22,706 survive. Not mine, but Mladen did the move. Mladen, no, I didn't believe strongly enough in Mladen. I'm sorry, guys. I was going into bed last night. The price already went up, and I was like, yeah, but this move was already done. So the reason I didn't keep the position open up here to, you know, to this week down here is because I thought, yeah, it went already up here, because he said it was 706 down here, you know, 706 down here when we were over here. So, you know, yeah, I was thinking like it's gonna go like a week down there and go up, but you know, it went very high up, and I was like, there is no way right now, you know, immediately be coming back down again. So I closed my limit long position, and there is that. What about a bullish divergence on the daily? Gort, go back in time. Go back in the stream, and you know, I already talked like about that like 3-4 times, so you're a little late. So you can check it out later after the stream maybe. So there is that, guys. I'm remaining, you know, short term. When I say short term, I mean, you know, very short term up, you know, bullish for some kind of, you know, bounce. But I'm considering every bounce needs to be considered as some kind of dead cat bounce, because the trend is obviously, you know, getting changed. Up here, there's strong levels of resistance up here at above us. So any kind of, you know, bounce needs to be considered as a dead cat bounce, some kind of, you know, downtrend bounce, anything like that. It needs to be shorted. Needs to be shorted, guys. Shorts are a lot more profitable than longs right now. Shorts are a lot more profitable than longs right now. At least, you know, that's my saying. That's my... Fuck, good, stunning bullish. I told you, man. I told you. Analyzing chart just based on technicals, it's not always the best thing to do. But I think the fundamentals is the last thing we should be looking when it comes to charts. First is technicals, second is psychological, and third is fundamentals. So there is place and time, fundamentals as well, analysis. But number one, technical. Number two, psychological, market psychology. Number three, fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is like third on the list. Why? Because fundamentals are already priced in by the market. So there is that. There is everything is important. It's just like how much is important. How much is important, right? So that's what we're looking at. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. We're gonna of course do trading stream later today. So that might be what's happened with the last TP trade. What you put in yesterday. I got tweaked out 2 times. So there is that. 32 up here. I mean 32, give or take. So I would have to adjust my my stop loss by 0.6 or something. It was very tight stop loss. It was very tight stop loss up here, right? You can see up here we got knocked out. Actually we got knocked out on these up here because our buy with these actually went lower, then went a little bit higher than that, and then continued going towards downside. So that one got wicked us out, and then we had a short position. Sorry, we had a long position up here, but even that got wicked us out. So every time, like I just need a so little adjustment on my stop losses, entry points, and it's gonna be fine. So if I keep buying these bottoms instead of buying this range over here, if I keep selling the the top of the range instead of the okay, this was actually bad because up here we got stopped out, but it wasn't actually the best trade. The first ones were better because the pullback is the thing that we are waiting for, right? So I short it at the top just at the end of stream. Yeah, you said that very well, very nicely done. Mladen knows all the things. Man, you should start your own stream, man. You should start your own Telegram channel, Signal channel, and make a lot of money. I'm very sorry for you. Nah, don't be sorry. It's okay. There is no failures. There is only lessons. We are learning lessons, lesson by lesson by lesson. Forex, because lately everything follows it. Of course, stuck picking time. Okay, guys, thanks for stopping by. That's what I got today. I think we are still, we still remain bearish a little bit towards the downside, and we are looking for the bottom, guys. We are 100% looking for the bottom. We don't know where the bottom is gonna come but by the time when the bottom comes, hopefully we will find the bottom. We will see the bottom. We will be able to buy the bottom, and the rally will continue towards the upside. Long term up here on the weekly time frame, stuff like that, of course I remain strongly bullish. Even if we drop down to some kind of 14k down here, I'm still gonna remain strongly bullish long term, because the chart is big, and the 2025 bull market top is coming up here. So I don't think definitely we are just gonna bleed all the way around to 2025, because this is my target area around 2025, give or take. Over here, are we gonna just bleed all the way down through some kind of, okay, this is zero line over here, so you cannot, are we just gonna bleed down here forever, go down to zero? I don't think that's the case. It can go down or whatnot, but my expectations are above previous all-time high. It could happen that we don't get to the all-time high, but it's at least higher than this range down here. So long-term bullish, short-term a little bit skeptical, a little bit move towards downside, stuff like that. Have to make also volume study together with the price 50-50. We also do look at the volume, and I mean we got a volume on the chart all the time, no problem whatsoever. Guys, again, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 AM 10 PM on the dollar. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and we'll chat. Bye bye.